日本時間5月15日、この日は先発メンバーから外れ、ベンチスタートとなったドジャースの大谷翔平選手。それでも、前日に圧巻の投球を見せた大谷選手について、試合前のドジャース側の現地メディア、そして各米メディアは大谷選手の話題で盛り上がりを見せていました。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
You guys mentioned last night Shohei Ohtani was on the mound and he was excellent. He continued his dominance with 7 scoreless innings against the Giants. It was Shohei's best start of the season as he limited the Giants to just 4 hits while striking out 8. That start lowered his ERA to a dazzling 0.82, which is the best in the majors among starting pitchers. Then he's matching whip of 0.82, ranks 3rd in the big leagues, while his opponent's average and opponent's on-base percentage are good for 2nd and 3rd respectively. So guys, when we talk about Shohei Ohtani, we know coming into this year, he made it clear he's got some awards on that shelf, but he wants one more, and that is to win the National League Cy Young. Is this what you imagined, though, when he started the season, that 7 starts in, he'd be here?
I expected him to pitch very well. I really did. I didn't expect him to be this dominant so quickly. For him to have everything working, whether it's the slider, the sweeper, different types of shapes to the breaking ball, the 94 with run, the 100 miles an hour up in the zone. He has every pitch you could have. And I didn't even mention the splitter. And that is lethal as well. So for him to be this sharp, this soon, that is surprising me. I didn't think he'd be this dominant, but I knew he would pitch great. And right now, no disrespect to that monster over there in Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens, who's an absolute stud. Paul, you're a stud. But right now, this dude, Shohei Ohtani, is the best pitcher on the planet.
Look, I don't love Twitter like the real Jay Hare, but I threw out a tweet about a month ago. You can check it. I said Ohtani for Cy Young. This guy is just so confident right now, and I feel like when he puts his mind to something, he's going to will his way to do it. It's kind of like a hitter sometimes. You get 2 strikes, you just know you're going to battle and at least give a good at bat. And I just love what he's doing right now with his arm angles. He's creating good tilt. He's making that sweeper disappear, especially from the right-handers. And he's throwing his fastball a lot more. You know, I was talking to some of the guys down there earlier. He's attacking like an old-school pitcher with his fastball, and he's making the other stuff even nastier, especially with 2 strikes. So if he continues to do that, I think he's definitely going to win the Cy Young. And his stuff's going to be there all year. It's just about executing and the command.
Yeah, and it's also about just maintaining him and keeping him healthy. Recently, he's been dealing with a little bit of fatigue. It seems like it's been showing with his numbers offensively. He's not in the lineup today. He wasn't in as the DH yesterday either. So for more on to Shohei Ohtani, let's go inside the stadium and check in with David Vassay, who can give us a little bit more insight as to how Shohei Ohtani is and the plan for him today.
Thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, Dave Roberts said 2 days ago he was considering doing this, not having Ohtani hit last night or the day after he pitches, and that played a factor into Ohtani throwing 105 pitches, going 7 scoreless innings. Going back to the last homestand, Andrew Friedman told me this was going to be a read and react situation, and scenarios like tonight would occur where the Dodgers would not have Ohtani in the starting lineup to begin the game, but certainly a threat to come off the bench as a pinch hitter if needed. Dave Roberts addressed just the whole complexion of the Ohtani season now that he's a full-time pitcher.
No, he's available. He's available. If the game's in the balance, if it makes sense, he's available. Yes, thank you. I think he just arrived, so which is good. I was hoping he would get here late and kind of take the day to rest and recover. So he is here, and just a later ramp up for him.
As you continue to have these conversations with Shohei about his usage, what have you learned about him and his communication that you didn't know before?
I think it's getting better. I think that he certainly is very in tune with things around him. Hyper in tune with his own, obviously, well-being, but I think he's now more willing to kind of give his opinion as opposed to just kind of do what the organization wants. And it's important because we can't, read minds. I can't read minds, and so it's helpful, when the player voices, some thoughts. So that's one thing I've appreciated.
What is his opinion?
I think his opinion is, if there are days that he feels that I feel like he should take a day off, do it. That mentally, the days that he does pitch, it's tougher on him. Physically, it's the day after.
And remember, when the season began, the Dodgers lined up Ohtani on Wednesday to pitch because the first 6 weeks of the season, a lot of Thursdays were days off or travel days. So essentially, they're lining it up the same way here to give him, at least to begin the game, a day off. And by the way, Shohei Ohtani arrived in the Dodger clubhouse at about 3:50 this afternoon. So he certainly got the rest that Dave Roberts was hoping for. And like Dave said, he is a threat to come off the bench tonight as a pinch hitter.
Thank you, as always, David Bassett. And look, everyone deserves a day off here and there. Hopefully he gets a little bit of a spa treatment, got to sleep in today. Do you guys feel like this is something that we could be seeing more of with Shohei Ohtani as they find ways to continue to manage him so he can be available throughout this entire season and ready for the most important games later?
Absolutely. You need to take these rest days. And we said it so many times. Nobody's ever done this. What Shohei Ohtani's doing, Babe Ruth didn't do. You got to remember, Babe Ruth was a stud pitcher who occasionally hit. He stopped pitching altogether because his hit tool was that important and became an outfielder and a hitter. Shohei's doing this now all at once. It is taxing, and I think more so, besides the physical, it's mentally taxing. So for him to have that spa day or that day that he could just do nothing, I think it's important because you need those days in May, June, July to make sure he's mentally fresh and somewhat physically fresh come September, October.
Yeah, I mean, like talk about back in the day with Babe Ruth. It's like they prepare so much more now, right? They have so many things to go over, especially as a starting pitcher, going over the weaknesses, going over your own strengths, and when do you want to use one or the other. And then I just really feel like I kind of want to see him in the lineup maybe more so when he does pitch. I understand giving him the off day after a day of starting pitching, but I think there's going to be times where the matchup favors him, especially as a hitter. He wants to get off, actually continue his good hitting like he did the other night with the 2 big hits. So I really feel like if you put him in the lineup against good matchups, maybe drop him in the lineup. Maybe he's not batting leadoff. Maybe he gets one less at bat.
So,
because when it comes playoff time,
you're exactly right. So you're saying you want him in the lineup as a pitcher, and
yes,
then the next day,
complete day off. But I think there's days you can put him in when he's pitching, maybe bat him 3rd or 4th RBI spots. But I think come playoff time, you're going to want him in the lineup. So get him used to it
they're
again.
They're going to do that. They're going to take the days, make sure he's fresh, and then come postseason, as it get closer, you're definitely going to see him pitch and hit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Essentially, that will be like a build-up for his two-way duties. Obviously, last night we were talking a little bit about you playing behind Robbie Ray when he won his Cy Young. When you're playing behind Shohei Ohtani, what were the qualities that you saw in Robbie in that year that he won that you see in Shohei Ohtani now that could put him on the path to hopefully winning his first Cy Young?
I mean, it was basically the same thing, the winning mentality, attacking hitters, as you guys saw yesterday, attacking hitter with the fastball, overpowering, and, his attitude, the way to show his attitude on the mound, it was great to see, and, definitely I didn't get enough ground ball, but because everything was like a strikeout, so, I mean, he was just attacking hitter, and it looked like a Cy Young, so, it goes from there.
Well, Santiago, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you watched our pregame show, we got a chance to interview the guy that caught your first ever Dodger home run. So I can make a way to be able to get that home run from him. He's a kind of a big dude. Maybe I could kind of arm wrestle him for it, but his name is Brandon Collins. He's here at Dodger Stadium again. He has that ball, and I do have his phone number, so I'm going to figure out a way to get that ball from him and get it to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome to have that ball. I can definitely, give him a bad sign or anything, that I can do just so I can have that ball too. So it'll be awesome. Thank you.
All right, Will, you said it was just another at-bat. First game leading off, and you really stole the thunder there, hitting a home run. How did that feel?
Yeah, it felt good. Just trying to be like Show. Leading off with a homer, but yeah, just another AB.
When you're up there in that situation, you have no chance to see what Roop has. You're the first guy to face him. How does that change as far as the way you're going about the at-bat?
It didn't, honestly. It was just another, leading off the inning, basically, just leading off the game. We know what pitches he's got. We know what works for him, what he's trying to do out there. So, yeah, just putting together a good at-bat, picking the right pitch to swings at, and, putting the bat on the ball.
The biggest thing is you guys have been playing from behind a lot lately. To even get a 1-0 lead, how big was that to change kind of the vibe in the dugout and give Emmett even one run to work with?
Yeah, he pitched so well tonight. But yeah, just jump out ahead. Not feel like we're clawing back. They did a good job tying it up, but we were able to respond right away and get the win.
Do you feel like Dave's going to keep you in the leadoff spot tomorrow night in Anaheim?
I have no idea. We'll see.
Hey, when you're the DH, too, you have time for antics like putting gum in Yamamoto's hoodie, too.
See that? I got 8 in there. Yeah, exactly. He has no idea.
Thanks for stopping. Congratulations.
Thanks.
There he goes. Hey, Will Smith, I like the free and easy DH leadoff hitter.
Also cannot forget about Shohei Ohtani. How about an ERA at .82 after 7 shutout innings against the Giants? Second lowest ERA by a Dodger pitcher through 7 starts, trailing only Fernando Valenzuela's .29 ERA in his 81 Cy Young season. As we bring back Tim. So this NL Cy Young race could be an all-timer. I didn't even bring up Skeens or Christopher Sanchez. What are you looking forward to as the summer heats up?
Well, I've never seen a quarter of the way through the season 6 guys with these Cy Young credentials, all of them in the National League. And Paul Skeens has been ridiculous as usual. He's got his ERA under 2 now, 198. He struck out 40 guys since he last walked anyone. No Pirates ever done that. You talked about Ohtani. He kind of whispered about winning a Cy Young at the beginning of the year. He's certainly on track to do that. Mizorowski has 80 strikeouts. When he faced the Yankees the other day, he did not throw a pitch under 102 miles an hour in the first inning. Aaron Boone told me he was throwing 5,000 miles an hour. Christopher Sanchez has been great, 2.11 ERA, and Chris Sale has been great. He's got a whip under 1.
Kevin Nagani back with you on SportsCenter last night. Showtime for Shohei on the bump in L.A. Dodgers star, they threw 7 shutout innings, had 8 strikeouts. 4-0 win. Hey, finally they scored for him. They beat the Giants. They snap a 4-game losing streak. His return to a full-time starter going pretty well as a pitcher, considering he lowered his ERA to .82. The goal is a Cy Young. Dodgers reporter Alden Gonzalez joining us now. Alden, you spoke with Shohei last night following that fantastic performance. What's the Dodgers superstar saying about balancing now hitting as well as pitching this season?
Well, for one, that he's not too old for this. Look, Shohei is attempting a full-time two-way season for the first time in 3 years. He is approaching his 32nd birthday. And given his recent hitting slump and the fact that he's been taking more days off than we're used to, there's been a lot of concern about whether or not this is taking more of a toll on his body now than it has before. But Shohei dismissed that last night. He sort of smiled at the question. He said, "I feel good. I'm still young. I'm still at my peak." He indicated that any hitting struggles are more related to mechanics than they are fatigue. But look, Shohei Ohtani was not in the lineup for start day again on Wednesday. He is also not in the lineup today. The Dodgers initially planned it this way because he was struggling so much in May that they felt like he could benefit from back-to-back days off. And they stuck to this plan even though he seemingly broke out of his slump with a 3-hit game on Tuesday. And the reason for that is very simple, because the Dodgers' #1 priority is preserving Shohei Ohtani's body for this two-way season, which takes a lot out of it.
Yeah, mentally as well. Tuesday, you mentioned the 3 hits. That included his 7th home run.
And then he was in the booth when Ohtani broke out of a slump and homered.
We was broke as a joke. When I say we, it's me.
There's the drive off of the bat of Ohtani, headed for the wall in the seats.
There we go.
All we had to do was bring Ice Cube in the booth, and Ohtani figures it out. It's that simple. Huh?
Amazing.
You know, and with all due respect to Cube, okay, he's got a power. As we know, he ended World Series Game 2 just by showing up. Right? It wasn't Cube being in the booth that got Ohtani out of a slump on Tuesday night.
How can you say that for a fact?
It's the Rich Eisen Show cooler, Chris Brockman, coming up with this subject matter for Overreaction Monday on a Tuesday.
Enough with the pitching sideshow. Ohtani needs to go back to hitting only, or the Dodgers not going to make the NLCS.
So you think he's not hitting well because he's pitching?
1,000%. I don't know how you could dispute that. Guy doesn't pitch for 2 years. We see 50-50 and the greatest offensive player we've ever seen. Now we're back to pitching? What is he hitting, 240?
It's just baseball, man. It happens. It just
I don't know. I went to a couple games over the weekend. Didn't hit the broadside of a barn.
I hear you. I get it.
Something's off.
I know. You got Braves mania over there.
Enough with the pitching. No one cares.
That's
we're there
not
to
true.
see. We're there, yeah,
Untrue. No one
It is
cares.
true. We're
Untrue.
there to see you hit.
Untrue.
We're there to see you hit. We're not there to see you do something cool every fifth day. We're there to see you do something awesome every day. Let's hit.
Okay, so then he hit that night. Still, the Dodgers, with that home run and Q being in the booth and throwing out the first pitch, lost their fourth in a row. And last night, Ohtani took to the mound. What did he do? Because it's no big deal? 7 shutout, 8 strikeouts to lower his ERA to .82 on the season. So there's many things that I like, as you know. Being right is way up there.
It's on the list.
Oh, good Lord, is it way up there. The only thing that might be above that
What's that?
is slagging on Brockman when he's not here and can't respond.
I mean,
And him being the cooler and way wrong. Good Lord. Yeah, let's take somebody who's throwing .82 ERA out of the rotation. Any team should do that, right? Well, because we need him hitting, which he did anyway. The night he said he should stop pitching because it's affecting his hitting, he hits a home run and then throws 7 shutout. So Dodgers fans, thank Chris Brockman. Thank him. This is so much fun. When's he coming back? Next week.
Monday, I guess.
That's great. Isn't that fun?
Got some for this.
Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, you know, Chris would say people love facts whenever he said
That's what he said. I think that we cut off the soundbite before he said that.
That's his thing. But
it's baseball.
Yeah.
And you know the thing that I also know that he doesn't like is me doing this. And he certainly doesn't like it when it's an overreaction Monday subject matter, which, you know, he's putting out there for engagement. Maybe not thoroughly believing it, but I think he does believe that.
Believes a lot of it, I'd say.
No, I do believe he does think that Ohtani should stop pitching because he's basically said that for 2 years, thinking it's what got him hurt. As we all know, he went through the surgery. You cannot take somebody who's throwing like that out of the rotation. You just simply cannot do that. So.
Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry.
Keep playing the drops, man. Okay. What else?
You feel better now?
Good Lord, do I.
The quest for Shohei Ohtani to win a Cy Young did not hit a bump in the road last night. Shohei Ohtani went 7 scoreless innings against the erstwhile playoff contending San Francisco Giants. He absolutely never Dylan ceases to amaze me. The reason why he amazes me is not that he bats, because that's unbelievable, but I'm past it. Like, he's a two-way player, and he's the greatest player I've ever seen. It's not at all that he's got 7 home runs and 17 runs batted in, which there are plenty of players who would kill to have those stats. And by the way, that's with him slumping majorly right now at the plate. What I'm fascinated about is that in an era of 5 and dive being acceptable to baseball front offices because of the velo that lives past the wall in the pen, Shohei Ohtani has pitched at least 6 innings in every one of his starts this year. There is no other stat more meaningful. I don't care that his ERA right now is an unbelievable .82. Unbelievable. I don't care about his whip being under 1, way under 1 at .82. It's amazing. I'll grant you all of that. I'm happy that he's striking out more than a pitch, more than a hitter per inning. 50 strikeouts and 44 innings pitched. All of those are good facts about Ohtani. But the number one is that when you put him out there, your bullpen gets to rest. You see, the bullpen gets spoken to before each game. The bullpen has an understanding of who the starting pitcher is so they can evaluate when they need to get ready in their minds because they know they're going to get 6 at least strong innings from Ohtani. It adjusts their preparation. If you have a starter and sometimes he goes 8, sometimes he goes 2, sometimes he gets shelled and he has too many pitches so he goes 4+. When a pitcher is all over the place in innings pitched for a start, it taxes the bullpen mentally and in some ways physically because they're up warming up earlier because there's a smaller leash on the pitcher because they're so inconsistent with their innings pitched. And bullpen arms know this. When you're a bullpen arm and you look out at the lineup and it's posted and it says P. Ohtani, it's just a different feeling that you get. And that is the most important factoid about Ohtani that I would like you to think about is how consistent he is in how long he can stay in games. Of course, though, given that he did not hit yesterday and that Dave Roberts is trying to be smart about hitting him and pitching him, because in the good old days before surgery and when he was totally fine, he would hit leadoff when he was pitching. It was a sight to behold because of the insanity of it. Remember, he's one of the reasons that not only does he get a roster exception and exemption for being both, but there are many times when there was a pitch clock situation because he'd be getting off the mound and leading off an inning, and there would be a delay and it wouldn't get called sometimes. We can talk about how often pitch clocks get called and all the discretion the umpires have, but the specialness of Ohtani when he was hitting was not lost on me. But now, if he's going to focus on pitching, he is going to have to give in to Davey Roberts and Andrew Friedman, the front office of the Dodgers, as they decide how to keep him strong and fresh and productive. Whatever it is the Dodgers are doing, I would say, as it relates to Shohei Ohtani, it has worked. And there's one thing about Andrew Friedman. When something works, he'll do it again, and then he'll do it again, and then he'll do it again. And he'll keep doing it until it stops working. It's too bad he pitches so late in the day. But man, is he fun to watch.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。